What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Apex Wiffle Ball on a little segment I like to call Apex Wiffle Tonight. It's going to be just like MLB and MLW tonight, where I'm going to be talking about some news, updates, and everything going on around the league in like a little talk show. I kind of did this before the Winter League, where I talked about every team and the hype going into every team before the season starts. And I'm going to be doing the exact same going into the Summer League. I am so hyped for this Summer League. We have 9 teams this season, and what we will be doing is everyone's going to play every team twice. It will be in a 2-game series on the same night, 1 home, 1 away. And 8 teams will make the playoffs, and 1 will miss out. So the regular season has some meaning to it, because one of your 9 teams will not be with us after the regular season. Now, I have the 9 teams here. We have a lot of returning teams. We have some expansion teams, a lot of familiar faces, but also, yet again, a lot of rookies. So I'm looking forward to this Summer League, and let's take a look at the teams. So let's talk about our regular season division winners of the winter. The Zoo. They went 6-1 last season, but they're no longer called the Zoo. After many retirements and summer obligations, a bunch of them wound up retiring from Apex Wiffle Ball, therefore only leaving 3 players left on the team. The new captain is now going to be Matthew Hensel, who played 9 games last season and was the Winter League hits leader with 13 hits, which also won him a Silver Slugger. Of those 13 hits, 2 of them were home runs, and he had 10 RBIs, posted up a .433 batting average, as well as a .575 OBP. Matthews looking to, and he's a Summer League All-Star as well from last season, so a league vet looking to lead a team. He's always had a leadership role on every team he's been on. He's with the Brothers, who he had a 9-5 record with and got eliminated from the second round of the playoffs. Like I said, the Zoo had a lot of success with a 6-1 record, being our best regular season team in the winter. The guys joined by him, we have Ryder Shaw, who was the league leader in RBIs with 14 RBIs, which actually won him the Most Improved award. He played 6 games, yet again another veteran. He had 11 hits, 2 of them were home runs, as I said earlier, 14 RBIs, had a .478 batting average, and a .571 OBP. Ryder looks to take a huge part of this team, especially now with a smaller team. And the only other member they have coming back is Brendan Patience, who played 2 games, had 1 hit, 1 RBI, a .333 batting average, and a .600 OBP. Something I'd like to mention with Patience that a lot of people actually have. So because of how short the Winter League was, I decided to make a rule that if you played less than 3 career games, you still have your rookie eligibility. So that basically just means you are up for the Rookie of the Year award. So Brendan Patience, Rookie of the Year watch. But going into the off season with Matthew knowing he's a new captain, he decided that he needed an established pitcher, because as you guys have seen in the videos, you need an established pitcher to win you ball games. So he called up the gentleman because he knew the gentleman had a lot of pitching, and they made an accusation, a mutual agreement to send a player over to the 919 Punishers, which, by the way, Matthew Hensel decided that, you know what, new team, new brand, new name, they'll be going by the 919 Punishers. So Matthew called up John Canera, the gentleman, and decided to make a little mutual agreement to send me over to the 919 Punishers. So I'll be playing on the 919 Punishers. Last season I played 7 games, had 6 hits, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, a .462 average, and a .611 OBP. On the mound, I had a 2-2 record with 10 innings pitched, 11 earned runs, a 5.58 ERA, and 21 strikeouts, which I believe was 4th in the league. But honestly, three of these hits were, actually not three, four of these hits were from the two championship games. A bunch of my hidden stats are because of the championship. Both home runs were in game 2 of the championship even. But I look to keep that bat consistent as I did in the Summer League. In the Summer League, I had 13 home runs in 15 games. And I look to show why I won a Silver Slugger, and I'm going to show why I'm a legit pitcher in the league and why I'm going to become the ace of the team, and every game 1 will be a threat. And I did say game 1, so as I mentioned earlier, we will be having 2-game series. And there is a new pitcher's rule where with 2 games, there's 6 regulation innings, 3 in each. A pitcher can only throw a maximum of 3 innings a series because we want to get some more arms in there. So basically, after I pitch 3 innings, I can no longer pitch anymore. Now, the only exception to that rule is if we do go extra innings, I can pitch in extra innings, no matter if my 3 is up or not, and no matter if it is game 1 or 2. But the 919 Punishers, we have a championship or bust kind of mentality. We want to win, and we want to win now. We feel like we have the team to win it, and I'm looking forward to this season. It's going to be awesome, and we like having a shorter lineup. Gives everyone more at-bats, lets everyone see the ball better. I've always been a fan of short lineups. Alright, so with that being said, the Gentlemen is going to be the next team we talked about. The reigning Winter League champions. They had a 5-1-1 regular season plus a 2-0 sweep in the championship. They had a crazy season. They returned basically their whole team. They have John Canaire, the reigning MVP, Cy Young, Manager of the Year. He won the Silver Slugger and Most Improved in last season's Summer League. He was a Summer League All-Star as well. And in 8 Winter League games, John had 7 hits, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, a 269 batting average, a 486 OBP. And yet again, a lot of these hidden stats were in the championship, just like me. But I know John's more than capable of having a full season like this, like how he did in the championship. He did in the Summer League, and that's why he won a Silver Slugger. And I definitely feel like there will be a lot more hits in the winter since it was really cold. The ball was pretty brittle, so making it harder for the ball to travel. Maybe that's why it was a pitcher's league. It's also, we do have some talented pitchers, I feel. So, John's pitching stats, by the way, were absolutely insane. He had a 5-0 record off the mound in 6 appearances. He threw 22 2/3 innings, gave up only 5 earned runs, which is a .66 ERA, and he threw 62 strikeouts. That was amazing because that's actually 68 outs. So only 6 outs that the Gentlemen recorded were not strikeouts from John, which was absolutely phenomenal. The next guy, it's John's right-hand man, Owen Chidister, has been with him for the long run. He was a Summer League All-Star, and he won a Winter League Silver Slugger. He played 9 games, was the only one on the Gentlemen to play every game, actually. Even John missed a game. So, Owen had 11 hits, which for the longest time, he was the league leader in hits. He did finish in second behind Matthew Hensel, and one of those hits was a home run, and it was against the Zoo. He had 9 RBIs, a 314 average, and a 467 OBP. Owen also could act as a number 2 arm. He has had 4 pitching appearances. 2 of them were starts, and one of them was a no-hitter. Despite him having 10 walks and giving up 2 runs, he still got the win, and he got the no-hitter. So Owen is more than capable of being a number 2 pitcher if he reduces the walks. But like I said, he doesn't really give up much hits. They also have Sam Martin, who played 4 games, including the 2 postseason games. He had 3 hits, 1 home run, 2 RBIs, a .250 average, and .357 on base percentage. Sam absolutely tore it up in the postseason. He even knows himself that he didn't have too good of a summer league, didn't have too good of a regular season in the winter league. He did face some tough pitching in the winter league, though. He had to face, in the 2 games, Isaac Holmes and Dominic Masters. So, Sam's looking to carry that postseason momentum into the regular season of the summer, and he's looking to have a monster year. Honestly, I feel like Sam is one of the favorites for the Most Improved award this season. They also have Chase Klingman, who played 4 games, and in those 4 he had 3 hits, 2 home runs, and those 2 home runs were huge. One of them was the game-time home run with a full count, 2 outs, no one on, and yet again we were down 1-0 with no one on, and he hit a home run to tie the game, which sent us into extra innings, and we eventually won the ball game. And he also had a Game 1 of the World Series home run. He had 2 RBIs, a .214 batting average, and a .267 on base percentage. Like I said, Chase is a big power hitter, so you don't want to hang one or else he will take you deep. They also have Hudson Thomas, who brings great morale to the team. He played 4 games, had 2 hits, 2 RBIs, a .182 average, and a .357 OBP. Hudson, yet again, great guy to have on the field. It's just, in wiffle ball, you like to have guys on the field that you're comfortable playing with and that you enjoy playing with. And Hudson is definitely one of those guys that you want to have around. The next 2 players I'm going to be talking about, the gentlemen, they played some games, but they still have their rookie eligibility. They have Aaron Kimball, who played 2 games, recorded 1 hit, a .167 batting average, and a .444 OBP. He did get on with some walks in those 2 games. The 2 games he played, unfortunately, were 2 games where neither team really got a lot of hits. Aaron played in that 6-inning marathon against the Corn Dogs, and he also played in the 5-inning extra innings game against the Tsunamis, where Dominic Masters was just dealing. Glenn Lee, who still has his rookie eligibility, played 1 game, but again, it was the game against Dominic Masters, and Dominic recorded 13 outs, and 12 of them were strikeouts. But the 1 ground out was actually Glenn, who put the ball in play. A few of us at first looked at it as, oh, come on, you got out. But afterwards, we all realized, wow, you actually put the ball in play. Everyone else has been striking out like crazy. I expect Glenn to, have a nice little rookie season. I think he can definitely put the ball in play. Maybe even a home run. I know he has some power. He hits the weight room. And I'm looking forward to seeing Glenn some in the summer league. They also have Nolan Gavigan, who I know was on the roster last season. Wasn't able to make it out to a game. So again, he's now a true rookie. And the gentlemen have a loaded squad. They've loved their big rosters. And they have a legit shot of going back-to-back. And I like their chances, and I'm looking forward to seeing them compete. The next team I want to talk about, though, will be the Tsunamis, who were without a doubt an amazing team in the winter. Showed a lot of potential, showed a lot of greatness. They had a 4-3 winter league record. They won the first game, then they dropped the next 3 to 3 tough teams, and then they took the last 3 actually. They're captained by Aiden Santabria, who played 7 games, played in every game. He had 9 hits, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, a .346 batting average. But the big thing I want to show you is he does play some money ball. He had 18 walks, which led the league, which led him to having a .614 batting average, which was almost double. 614 on base percentage, which was actually almost double his batting average. Aiden's a guy that'll get on base. He can hit the ball. He can go yard. And that's just a hitter that you don't want to face up at the plate. They also have Dominic Masters, who played in 6 games and also pitched in, I believe, 5 of them. He had 7 hits, and by the way, Dominic Masters won a Silver Slugger last winter, only rookie to win a Silver Slugger, and he won our Rookie of the Year because he was the best all-around player at hitting and pitching. Dom had 7 hits, and 4 of them were home runs, which actually led the league because of how short the season was, and he was like the only one hitting. He had 11 RBIs, but a 233 batting average. He does, like I said, he's a big power guy. He had a 343 on base percentage. And pitching wise, he had a 1-3 record, but the record is very deceiving. There were a lot of unearned runs he gave up. He threw 13 2/3 innings and had a 3.07 ERA. That I believe was the 5th best ERA in the league. And he threw 31 strikeouts, which is actually the 2nd most in the league. And the other 2 threw way more innings than him. It was John Canera at 1. I forget who 2 was, but Dominic Masters, I mean, he's going to be taking over as the ace of this team, because what I didn't mention yet was 2 key players of the Tsunamis, Declan Jack, who kind of played the ace role, and Matthew Playforth, who was another great bat to the team. Unfortunately, they said that they will not be able to play this summer due to some summer obligations. I wish them the best. I would have loved to have them. If they do have free time, maybe they can come out for a game or 2. But Dom looks to step it up huge as that Game 1 ace. And yet again, another lefty in the league. I know personally, as a left-handed batter, I hated going up against Dom. It is so hard. And those 2 are going to be joined by Hayden Phones, who played 2 games. He played against the Penta-Stuffed Orioles, and he played in a game that was unfilmed. But in that game, he did record some hits. He had 2 hits, 4 RBIs, a 486 average, and a 571 OBP. Another big on-base guy. Their plan is to get runners on base. Dom hit some bombs. Dom just has to pitch well. Aiden and Hayden, they actually both made some pitching appearances. Nothing too serious, but one of them definitely will have to step it up for when Dom runs out of his pitching eligibility. And it's another team that they're championship contenders. The next team, I am so excited to have these guys back, and they're looking at their revenge tour this summer. We Use Pine Tar will be back. They were known as the Penta-Stuffed Orioles in the winter, was known as We Use Pine Tar in the summer. They're going to go back to the We Use Pine Tar name. They don't actually use pine tar now. That is banned. No foreign substances. I do ball checks. I do hand checks. Hat checks if necessary. They went 10-4 in the summer league, in last season's summer league. Unfortunately, losing a tough game in the semifinals to our eventual champs. We did have quite a few teams in the summer league where going into the game, you just knew you weren't going to win. They went up against one of those teams. But honestly, there is no team where you have to go into the game thinking, oh, they're going to win. We have no shot. Anyone has a shot at anything. We Use Pine Tar has a reduced roster from in the past. I know they played with 6- and 7-man rosters. They bring back their best 5. They also had a 2-2 record in the winter before having to focus on baseball. The captain, Jared Deshazer, played 4 summer league games, had 4 hits, a homer, 5 RBIs, a 364 average, and a 500 OBP. He was a dangerous hitter in the summer league, pretty dangerous in the winter. Like I said, Jared hit a lot of bombs last summer. We had one in the winter, and looks to be a huge contributor with the bat. They have Shane Volpez, who played 2 games last season, and in both games he did throw a no-hitter. One of them was combined. One of them, he did get the loss though because of some walks, but he didn't give up any hits in the winter. So if Shane can control the walks like how he did in the summer, because in the summer league he did throw a complete game no-hitter with 9 strikeouts actually. So So if Shane can start pitching like how he did in the summer league, I saw some glimpses of that in the winter league for sure. I think it is definitely a little tricky for some of our pitchers to adjust to the new strike zone. Shane also won a summer league Silver Slugger, so we look forward to seeing a lot of Shane. He had a lot of bombs, including a postseason home run. They won a second round playoff game after having a bye in the summer. So they do have some experience with getting some big wins. So next, let's talk about Trent Warren. He had played 3 games, had 4 hits, a homer, 3 RBIs. He had a 444 average and a 500 OBP. Trent, big with the bat. He also did pitch he did pitch in a couple of games. Shane wasn't there one day, and they wanted to try out some pitching. And so they tried Trent, and the game wound up going extra innings. And I believe he only gave up a couple runs. And he threw 12 strikeouts, which was pretty nice. There was one game where they tried him again, threw a few walks. But I definitely can see Trent being optioned as a number 2. He does throw some nice pitches, I will say that. And then again, Trent, another great guy to have in the league. We also have Ryan Watson, who played 4 games. He can pitch. He's not much of a pitcher, but he has some pitching experience. He pitched in that semifinal game when the game was starting to get a little out of hand. He also pitched a combined no-hitter in the winter against the Equal Strikes. And in the 4 games, he posted up 3 hits, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, a 273 average, and a 429 OBP. Yet again, Ryan was heating up with the bat. If he continues this in the winter league, in the summer league as he did in the winter league, he's going to be a threat up at the plate yet again. And yet again, who knows, maybe he could be a number 2 arm. Jack Glitt, another guy who could be a number 2 arm. He was a part of that combined no-hitter with Ryan Watson against the Equal Strikes. Played in 3 games, had 1 hit, an RBI. He had a 200 average, a 600 OBP, big on-base guy. So basically, yet again, Jack will get on base. I know he does have some power in that bat. I definitely can see Jack hitting a lot more home runs. Potentially, maybe a most improved award player. And yet again, this team, a team with postseason experience, a team with revenge on their mind. They want to go to the championship. They want to win the championship. And nothing's going to stop them from doing that. The 5th team I'd like to talk about is the Equal Strikes. They had a 1-2 record in the Winter League. And this is a team with a lot of potential this summer to win some games. If they fix the one weakness that they had in the winter, which is a big part of wiffle ball, that was hitting the ball. In 3 games, they had 1 team hit. The 1 team hit actually came from their captain, Abby Morse, who played in 3 games. Like I said, had 1 hit, a .091 batting average, and a 286 OBP. She definitely puts the ball in play. Not afraid to swing the bat at anything close. Yet again, she did record the only hit of the team's expansion. Another key guy, they have Isaac Holmes, who played 2 games and pitched in both of them as the ace pitcher of the team. Had a 1-1 record, and that one loss was a really tough loss. I mean, he got taken into extra innings, and bottom of the 5th, first batter gave up a walk-off home run, but up until that, he threw a shutout. He threw 4 shutout innings. And Isaac was very impressive on the mound, and I know Isaac has endless potential up at the plate as well. Isaac guest played with us for 3 summer league games on another team, and he almost broke the single game home run record. He posted up 4 home runs in 1 of those games, and I think in the 3 games he had like 6 home runs, which was really impressive because 6 home runs beat out a lot of people that wound up playing a full season. He only played 3 games. So, and yet again, with nicer weather, I think Isaac has a shot of doing that again. So don't let his no hits in 2 Winter League games fool you. Another big guy on this team that's going to be contributing, Hugo Corciani. He had 2 games played in the Winter League. He had an RBI and a .571 on-base percentage. Hugo's a guy that'll get on base. He did get some hits in the Winter League, last Summer League. In the Winter League, he didn't get any hits, but he did get on base a lot. Hugo just needs someone to drive him in. I think Isaac definitely will be the guy to do that. Isaac is, that's what they did, both Hugo and Isaac, in the 3 games they played in the summer. Hugo got on base, Isaac drove him in. But, like I said, whether it's a little single or it's a walk, Hugo will get on base to help this team out. And I'm not so sure what they're doing with their number 2 pitching, to be honest. Maybe it'll be Hugo, maybe it'll be Abby Morse. Abby Morse did throw more than half of the game against the Penta Orioles last season. Didn't do terrible, honestly. And honestly, one thing I'd like to see out of Hugo, hopefully in a 16-game season, I'd love to see him hit his first career home run. A lot of people still have to hit first career home runs, some of them first career hits. And I'm very excited to see some people get some milestones this year. The rest of their team, they have Annalise, who had 2 RBIs, a .500 on-base percentage. Avery Markham, who had an .833 on-base percentage with 2 RBIs. And Sydney Daniels, who had .375 on-base percentage with 2 RBIs. They will take their walks. They will take their walks. They're definitely not scared to walk. But I know a few of them have told me that they're looking to get some hits. They're looking to get their first career hits. And I'd love to see it. The next team is an expansion team called the ILFB. Now, if you guys were paying close attention and you follow the league carefully in the winter, you guys noticed when I announced the gentleman, I did not say one key player, which was Tyler Wyatt. That's because Tyler Wyatt branched off the gentleman and made his own expansion team, giving me very big MLW Metro Magic vibes with Jack Agner. Yet again, both of them big power hitters. Both of them played a role on a former team that had success, and now branching off and making their own expansion team. Tyler recorded 2 hits, 2 RBIs, had a .286 average and a .583 on base percentage. Tyler kept getting on base, kept scoring clutch runs, including the game-winning run of that extra inning game with the Gentlemen and the Tsunamis. Tyler looks to step it up huge. I definitely can see Tyler hitting his first career home run, and it's going to be a huge season for him. He's joined by Dominic Moreno, who he actually played 1 game with us for the Corn Dogs. He was a part of that long extra inning marathon against the Gentlemen. He went 0 for 4 with 2 walks and had a .333 on base percentage. Yet again, no one was hitting the ball that day. His whole team had 1 hit against John, who was just absolutely dealing. Because Dom only played 1 game, he will have rookie eligibility. And there are 2 more rookies that are true rookies. They have Grant Peshauer and Evan Boucher. Grant was the starting third baseman for the Apex baseball team. So, yet again, he has some baseball background. Evan brings some great morale to the team. So, I'm really looking forward to seeing this team play. Tyler's been asking me for the longest time at work about making an expansion team, and he's got one now. And like I said, I think this will definitely shake up the league. It's going to be interesting. The next team I want to talk about is a new team called the Thrashers. They're captained by a rookie, Sean Kennedy. He's accompanied by 4 other guys, including one guy who has 2 years of wiffle ball experience, 2 seasons of wiffle ball experience. Andrew Hill played on Wii U's Pine Tar for the past 2 seasons. And in the Winter League, he recorded 2 hits, including his first career home run, which is actually the first home run in the whole Winter League. He had 1 RBI, a 333 average, and a 429 on-base percentage. So Andrew brings some experience to the team. There are 3 other rookies, are Griffin Dittner, Coley Smith, and Dempsey Canton. A bunch of athletes, baseball, football, basketball. So they're all pretty athletic guys. They seem, this team seems like they are ready to go, and they're going to mix up the league for sure. And yet again, especially by having Andrew, who has some experience, some postseason experience. He had the walk-off walk in the second round of the playoffs. So I can see the Thrashers being a nice team to have around. They'll grab some wins. They'll have some fun. Yet again, they're all athletes, so they're all going to play like athletes. The next team I want to talk about is called the Mom Lovers. So basically, this team played in not our winter league, but they played in the summer league. This team is captained by Brendan Fletcher, and they had a 5-10 record. Not 5-10, 5-9 record in the summer league. Won a first round playoff game, but sadly dropped a second round playoff game. And that first round playoff game is actually the first ever extra inning game in Apex Wiffle Ball history. And it just so happened to be in the playoffs. Brendan only brings back himself and 2 other guys that were on that team. And these were 2 guys that they didn't really see a whole lot of action. I know they were busy that summer. They have Ben Brockman and Noah Seepers. But Brennan does bring on a bunch of new rookies. They have Aiden Caudill, Dylan Schneider, Matt Markham, and James O'Hara. So these guys are a bunch of fun to have around in the summer league of last season. They did pick up 5 wins, as I said, and yet again, just looking forward to having these guys back. Brendan, great captain to have around. He also was the pitcher in the playoff game, and he had a really nice pitching outing. Go check that game out actually on the Instagram at Apex Wiffle Ball _league. I did film some of the postseason games and put them on IGTV. And the final team is a true expansion team of all rookies. They're called the Barnyard, captained by Josiah Rusher. He's accompanied by Austin Zugay, Mitchell Long, Carter Pouchette, Carter Anderson, Caden Krigler, and Tanner Nickel. These guys have been asking for quite some time for a team. I got them a team, and they even told me, like, look, honestly, we know we might not be good, but we're just looking to go out and have fun. And honestly, having fun produces wins. Whenever I'm having fun, that's when I started to win. Sometimes being all uptight and serious doesn't even get you anywhere. And those are your 9 teams. I explained the new pitchers rule. I also explained how only 8 of these teams will make the postseason. There's going to be 16 games. We're looking to upload pretty frequently. And some of the only other new rule changes. We have a new rule that the ball has to... So I'm going to pinpoint a halfway mark between the pitcher's mound and home plate. The ball has to be hit past that marker for it to be a fair ball. Anything behind that is going to be a foul ball due to us not having a catcher. I realize a lot of people had those little swinging bunts. And honestly, it's not really fair because those hits are kind of cheap anyhow. And honestly, this summer, look for a lot more hits. I know there were a lot of strikeouts in the Winter League. Summer League, look for a lot more hits. We were a very hitters-friendly league last summer. And I'm going to give you a little preview. The opening day matchup is going to be the 919 Punishers going up against the Equal Strikes. And that will be coming up soon. We'll be having a hype video, and I believe we'll also be having some preseason. So look out for more videos in the future. Stay tuned for this exciting summer league, because I'm excited, everyone's excited, and it's going to be a crazy summer. Thanks for watching Apex Wiffle Ball. This is AP signing out, and we'll see you in the next video.